Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about medical student credit score, a concern that I'm sure is fairly common. If you're worried about how your credit score is going to be affected by the path towards your degree, or you are unsure about how your loans are affecting your credit score, in this video, I will address these concerns and reveal some insight into how credit score is being affected. Having gone through the same experiences, I understand the concerns, especially as medical school is an expensive endeavor. With the long-term project that is getting a medical degree and pursuing a career, I know that credit score is a legitimate concern to have. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ava. I'm an internal medicine hospitalist who, like you, had concerns about how my credit score would be affected by choosing to pursue a career in medicine. I want to provide some comfort as well as some reality on how choosing this path can affect your credit score, particularly when you are a student. Before the returns of the degree are starting to show, it can be concerning and maybe even a little scary to consider how credit score is affected, but I'm here to help you navigate the path. Continue watching this video to learn about your credit score as a medical student and see what you can do to make sure it doesn't drop. Debt in general in the US has increased in the last decade or so. So I definitely understand concerns that you may have. I've gone through the same things you have, worrying over student loans and paying them off. The overarching concern is whether credit score will be affected because of my choices to become a medical student. The concerning aspect of credit score is using the credit card beyond the means that you actually have. Falling credit score is a direct result of using a credit card and then not paying off the cost when it comes time to. Knowing this, when you start to get behind on your own payments, problems start to begin with your credit score. Because of the extended number of years spent in school, students going to medical school have a significantly larger amount of loans than other types of students. I want to make it clear that there's nothing wrong with needing to take out loans to pay for college. Many people need to do so, and the system is in place for a reason. So do not feel ashamed for taking loans. Just be mindful when payments come around to keep up on them. Also keep in mind that if you have good credit, there are benefits outside of being accepted for loans in the future. Some lenders will give you lower interest rates, especially to those with good credit scores. A good credit score will also help with renting houses, apartments, purchasing cars, and even some employers, as occasionally one will check on your credit ratings when you apply for a job. But what are some things that you can do to maintain your credit score? The most obvious one is to pay your bills on time. Falling behind on payments is a quick way to drop the score. Be particularly mindful of one-time payments, as they tend to have a greater impact than long-term ones, unless you are consistently missing your long-term payments. In line with paying the bills on time is making sure that you have a small outstanding balance in comparison to your total credit lines. The balance should always be in your favor. Don't let it get out of control. Maintain a reasonable number of credit cards. Don't have too many of them, as it can lead you to losing track of which ones to make payments on, and it doesn't look the greatest to potential lenders and employers if they see that you need to constantly apply for a new credit card. Something not to do is having too short of a credit history. Getting a card as early as possible helps you build your credit score quickly. As a young adult, most likely you won't have any credit. There are a few ways that you can establish good credit while you're still in school, even in high school, and for a better chance of getting a student loans. For example, when you are 18, one of your options is to get an adult to add you as an authorized user on one of their accounts. This is the best approach to improve credit quickly. As an authorized user, you can make purchases, you can use the adult's credit cards, but you won't be the primary card holder. It works best if the primary user's card has a long record of on-time payments to boost your credit. The key to this strategy is you and the cardholder have to trust each other to use or pay the card on time. Make sure the card in question reports authorized users to the 3 major credit bureaus. Another option is a secured credit card, which requires a refundable cash security deposit in exchange for a line of credit. A typical deposit ranges from $200 to $3,000 and becomes your credit limit. Some of the major banks that offer this option are Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One, Citi Discover, and US Bank. You will get your money back once you upgrade to a normal unsecured card or close the account in good standings. Things to remember is that you need to establish a bank account before you apply for a secure credit card. Also, secure cards are not the same as debit cards or prepaid cards. With a debit or prepaid card, the amount of each purchase is immediately deducted from the balance, but with a secure credit card, the money you use for the security deposit is not impacted when you make a purchase, as it is not used towards the balance. You will need to pay the amount due that month on time. On the other hand, a student credit card is easier to obtain and has low or no annual fee, in addition to some incentives like cash back for good grades or convenience stores. The Discover Student It Chrome is a good option to look into, but absolutely do not apply for several credit cards at once. Just because you have established some credit doesn't mean the work is done. Make sure to at least pay the minimum amount due, even if you can't pay the full amount when payments come around, as it will minimize the damage to your credit score if you can pay at least a little. Different credit reporting agencies will have different scoring systems and scales on which the difference between a good and excellent FICO score will be measured. But generally, a score of 760 or greater will be considered an excellent score, whereas 650 might depend on the agency. To check what your annual credit report is for free in the US, I have provided a link in the description. It will tell you what your credit report is from 3 different credit report agencies. Make sure to look into it so that nothing comes as a surprise in the future. Remember that when you are in school, you have a financial aid office with employees willing to help you with your financial situation. It is important to be willing to talk to them when coming up against roadblocks. Even before a roadblock occurs, if you are nervous or would like some help, schedule an appointment. They are part of the available resources that you are paying while you are at school. Before you take out student loans or apply for more, whichever situation applies to you, make sure to read over what the interest rates are. Some loans may look good on the surface, but surveying them with a critical eye will help you down the line with maintaining a good credit score and with your ability to apply for additional loans in the future, for whatever purpose you may want them for. Interest can add up fast, so be wary of loans that look too good to be true, because they just might be. While you are in school, also be on the search for scholarships. They are a good alternatives to student loans and provide the opportunity to pay for college without worrying about repayments. If you are comfortable, talk to your parents and grandparents about whether they would be able to contribute to your education as well. I know that not everyone will be able to rely on family members, but for those that can, it is worth asking about. If you want further help that is more personalized for you in a chronological and organized way with my one-on-one support, I have an online mentorship live with me, you and I together for an hour, with me teaching you step by step on how you can successfully get into medical school still in this year. Click on the link below to learn more. College is expensive and medical school even more so. It is a difficult time and causes a lot of stress while in the middle of paying off the loans. Keep an eye out on the prize, as they say. Your career is one that typically pays well. And if you can make choices that will maintain a good credit score until you are able to work full time, you should be able to pay off your loans. Just remember to read the finer details of each loan before you agree to them, and make certain that the interest rate won't come back to haunt you later. See you next time.